This is HRTV Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
This is how close Nick Zito was to winning his third Kentucky Derby a season ago.
Down the outside, Icebox is flashing home, racing up the line. Super Saver wins the Derby.
1 year later, Zito is back with the same owner and another powerful closer.
Dialed in, and Julian LePeroux have won the Holy Bull.
Last June, trainer Bill Mott experienced his first victory in an American Classic. Could this be the colt to provide the Hall of Famer with his first victory in the Run for the Roses?
To honor and serve is the real deal here.
And Todd Pletcher, he trains the nation's best 3-year-old, but Uncle Mo is headed for New York, leaving this opportunity for his overshadowed stablemate.
Stay Thirsty wins the Gotham.
The Grade 1 Florida Derby is next. An all-out war is about to be waged along the Atlantic coast as some of the nation's finest 3-year-olds have invaded South Florida for the 2011 Florida Derby. This is where racing's elite head south for the winter, and this is a Derby prep, so the hats are out with a kiss from the Gulfstream faithful. And for Todd Pletcher, just another weekend at the office. 8 wins over the last 2 days. Is Stay Thirsty worthy of a trip to Louisville? And the morning line favorite sold at an overlay, currently 3-1 from a morning line of 9-5 for trainer Kieran McLaughlin. Overwhelming talent and depth. That's what defines this year's Florida Derby. And while Uncle Mo may be running in New York with it next weekend, make no mistake, this is the strongest Kentucky Derby prep race we've seen this season. Welcome everyone to Gulfstream Park and our viewers on Sun Sports and HRTV. I'm Lafitte Pinkai, joined by the 3-time Kentucky Derby winning jockey Gary Stevens. How rare is it to see one Derby prep race with this much talent and depth?
It's very rare, and this is by far the strongest prep that we've had this spring leading up to the Kentucky Derby. Usually these horses are spread out from Louisiana to Arkansas to California, New York, and Florida. Today, all the focus is right here, and it's going to be an exciting race.
To honor and serve, Dialed In is coming with his giant strides on the far outside. Still has to get to Shackelford. Shackelford still there. Dialed In coming after him. Shackelford, the race of his life. Dialed In's got him. Dialed In won the Florida Derby.
Nick, you told me a month ago that if everything went right, we would be standing right here having this conversation. What was going through your mind as your horse was 10 lengths out of it early on?
Well, as you know by now, I'm kind of a blessed guy, and I can't thank God enough, number one. I can't thank you, number two, because you've been in my corner, HRTV, I appreciate it. All the guys, Jeff, everybody. I'm emotional tonight. I haven't been this emotional since Strike the Gold.
What is it about this horse?
So, I don't know. It's amazing, but I'm not ashamed of it, I can tell you that much. So. It's a great game, but, you know, once in a while, special horses come around, and he's a special horse. And I know what he was, doing what he did. And what can I tell you? You know, what he did, breaking his maiden, coming back, winning the Holy Bull, running against Equestrio, who's, believe me, a top horse in his own rank. It's hard to run against older horses. And he proved it today. The track is favoring speed, and he defied the track. He's just an amazing horse, and I just hope God stays with him, and at least one more race anyway.
Well, Nick, we thank you so much. We appreciate everything.
No, I can't thank it. And Jeff and Aaron, they did a great job, Evan Veracruz and Jeff. And, you know, Jeff's getting to be a good handicapper, trust me. But excuse me for this, but even grown men cry. Thanks,
congratulations, Nick.
Thanks.
Jeff Siegel, who had Dialed In ranked number 2 behind Uncle Mo in his Elite 8 rankings. It just goes to show, Nick Zito's been here before. We mentioned the 2 Derby wins, and yet still so emotional after this Florida Derby victory. This is what the Bob Bafferts, the D. Wayne Lucases, the Todd Pletchers, the Nick Zitos live for. A legit Derby 3-year-old.
I rode for Nick Zito for 25 years. I never saw him get that emotional after a race. Comparing this horse to Strike the Gold, you know what? He's got the same style that Strike the Gold had. And I know he would love it to see him sweeping down the middle of the racetrack come the first Saturday in May the same way that Strike the Gold did.
Did you think you might get it?
Yes, by 17 yards I did because my horse was giving me all he had, and he was trying his best to come up there, and I never really thought I was gonna get, I was gonna get beat the way he was running, but but I know he's gonna be a lot better coming off this race.
I thought at the 8th pole we were going to get there. I mean, it was a tough beat, but Dialed In's a great horse. So, and we fought with him all the way to the wire. I'm just real proud of him.
What's next?
Well, we're going to sit back and hope that 200,000 gets us in the Derby. And if it doesn't, then we might just wait on the Preakness.
He's never been down the inside. He did a lot of things that he's never done. He was adaptable to the situation I put him in. All this is a learning curve. So, hopefully he learns from it and moves forward.
Harry backs to pick off the win, and it is Northern Dancer. It's spectacular bid. It's Swale. Unbridled takes command. Thunder goes. And it is all Barbaro. It is Big Brown.
You could have a lively discussion on whether Canadian-bred Northern Dancer was a better racehorse or sire, but there would be no disputing the fact he was brilliant in both roles. The Winfields Farm homebred found his way to the winner's circle several times during the winter and spring of 1964, including a key victory in Gulfstream Park's signature event, the Florida Derby.
It'll be a 2-length victory for Northern Dancer, ridden by Willie Shoemaker.
Still, Willie Shoemaker, Northern Dancer's rider during his Florida campaign, switched partners for the big dance on the first Saturday in May, opting to ride Santa Anita Derby winner Hill Rise. But Northern Dancer's trainer, Horatio Luro, found a more than suitable replacement, Bill Hardtack, who had won 3 of the last 7 Derbies. The new team clicked immediately and won the Kentucky Derby in record time over favorite Hill Rise.
And it is Northern Dancer that wins it by an inch.
2 weeks later, Northern Dancer captured the Preakness, but his Connections Triple Crown hopes were dashed in the Belmont when the colt tired to 3rd. Northern Dancer raced once more and won. Fittingly, he would make his final curtain call before his adoring Canadian fans in the prestigious Queen's Plate. Later, his country would honor him in a unique way. Northern Dancer was an exceptional sire, and his influence can be traced to the pedigrees of horses competing today. At one time, his stud fee skyrocketed to an unheard of $1 million. Northern Dancer lived until he was 29, and his remains are buried at Winfield's Farm.
When HRTV Rewind returns.
Nick, the son of the owner, came up and gave me this hat this morning, wanted a picture, and he said, would you wear this hat? I said, absolutely.
Little Mike did it again!
You're watching HRTV Rewind with a week of racing to recap.
Along the Atlantic coast, the Miami skyline in South Florida. Home to Gulfstream Park, South Florida's winter jewel of racing. And today, all eyes on the 3-year-old filly division, the 2011 Gulfstream Oaks. Ladies' Day in Hallandale, raising breast cancer awareness. And the star of today's show, Our Heat Lightning. Brilliant in the Devonadale, out to stake her claim as the best sophomore filly in the country. Standing in her way, it's tricky. Could be a monster weekend for trainer Kieran McLaughlin. He'll saddle the favorite for tomorrow's Grade 1 Florida Derby in Soldat. Well, general consensus is that Todd Pletcher trains the best 3-year-old in the country, Uncle Mo. Some would suggest he also trains the best 3-year-old filly in the country, and Our Heat Lightning. In 5 weeks, she'll be in Louisville for the Kentucky Oaks if all goes well in today's Gulfstream Oaks. Welcome to our viewers on Sun Sports and, of course, on HRTV. I'm Lafitte Pinkai, live from Gulfstream Park, Hall of Fame jockey Gary Stevens joining me on the set. And the question regarding our Heat Lightning distance. Does she have enough ability and upside to carry her speed the demanded mile and an eighth of today's race?
You know, her pedigree says that the possibility is that she can't get a mile and an eighth, but I rode enough horses in my day with class, and she has all the class in the race. She's the only Grade 1 winner in this race, so I've seen them outrun their pedigree in the past. Class, I think, will make her prevail today.
And our Heat Lightning still under a hand ride, and she's pulling away at will. She's got a 5-length lead on Island School and Salary Drive. Our Heat Lightning dominates the Gulfstream Park Oaks.
What was going through your mind as you saw Johnny bring her to the gate early, and what was going through your mind over the course of the race?
Actually, I thought she handled the post parade really well. She always goes in the gate with a Monty Roberts blanket, so that's why she came up a little early just to get that in position. I thought she broke really well. It's a little concerned going to the first turn. She was, packed out pretty wide, but the main thing was we just kind of wanted to stay out of her way and let her relax, and, I thought she settled really well.
She obviously moved forward big time off of her last effort. How much more does this filly have?
Well, I tell you what, I thought it was an exceptional effort today, and to basically run an identical time that Awesome Maria did in the Rampart, it's pretty impressive for a 3-year-old filly to do that.
Todd, congratulations. We'll see you in Kentucky.
Thank you.
Gulfstream Park has always been a racing destination, but this year's Florida Derby offers an array of excitement and entertainment that would rival any sporting event. On Thursday, horse owner and basketball coach Rick Pitino called the plays at the post position draw. Then things heated up last night with a who's who of cocktail parties in the walking ring. Trainers, owners, jockeys, and guests enjoyed live music and spent some money at the charity auction. Earlier this morning, folks gathered around the rail to watch the morning workouts and hear some inside information. There was also a horse for the kids and breakfast for everyone, and pink hats for all. Now it's officially Ladies' Day, and we're surrounded by all things girly and pink. In fact, just about everything and everyone at Gulfstream today is the color pink. Several national and local charities, including the Susan G. Komen Foundation, will be supported by Gulfstream Park today.
And Awesome Maria comes to the 8th pole with a 3-length lead on Successful Song. Unrivaled Bell is next on the outside, then Persuading. Awesome Maria's pulling away. Awesome Maria, oh yeah she is. She won it by 7 lengths.
How easy did she relax for you in this race?
She was going so good the whole way around. We got a good position going to that first turn, going to the backstretch. I was just paying attention to Ken Desormeaux, what he was doing, and I didn't want to let him go too easy. And the half mile pole, I got right next to him. And I said, well, maybe a little too soon, man. I see that he was already kind of going after his horse, and she didn't respond very much. And I just let her do it and pass those horses and keep her mind, and running. So she did it very easy.
Razzmatazz running a big one at the rail, and then it's Little Drama, Indiano, and Megalith, but it's Travelin' Man at the 16th pole, and he's pulling away. Then Indiano and Little Drama, Travelin' Man in the swale.
What are your thoughts on the race?
Well, I thought he relaxed really well, and we got a favorable post position. Last time we were on the inside and kind of under pressure the whole time, and we wanted to let him get his feet underneath him a little bit, and he seemed to respond really well, and came home really well.
Captain Candyman Ken closing in, then Regal Ransom, Safe Trip.
Safe Trip is loaded.
Come on with it.
So is Captain Candyman, though.
Come on, Castellano. Come on, Javier.
They're into the stretch.
Switch.
Look who's coming on the outside, the shadow. Uh-oh, Captain Candyman.
Captain Candyman Ken!
Ian, I just texted him. He's in Australia visiting his mother and dad, and I told him, a matter of week training, things look good.
Could you get a few more people in the winner's circle?
No, I think that was it. But they live here. This is their home, so this is their delight, and it was a wonderful race for them.
Kurt, thanks so much as we gear up for the Emirates Airline Appleton Stakes on grass going a mile. And you're sporting the Little Mike hat, rightfully so. Little Mike, who's been a front-running machine of late.
And little Nick, the son of the owner, came up and gave me this hat this morning, wanted a picture, and he said, would you wear this hat? I said, absolutely. Now he's even money.
And then he's going to tell you how to beat the even money favorite with the hat on.
I probably put the hex on him already.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it off. I don't want to stop him.
Little Mike's going to play catch me if you can here. He's down to the 8th pole. He's got a 2-length lead. He's starting to pull away. Then Successful Mission commandeered. Late runs coming from Asphalt and Riviera Cocktail trying to catch Little Mike as they come to the wire. Little Mike did it again!
Little Mike finds another win out on the front end here at Gulfstream Park. Dale, does this horse have any sort of bottom? Is there any end to him?
I've never seen him get tired. I mean, he just goes fast and keeps right on going. They come up to him, and he never slows down.
Mr. Vaccarezza, congratulations on another win here at Gulfstream Park. How exciting is it to have a horse like this?
Oh, this is unbelievable. Win 3 Grade 3s in one meet. I mean, it's just it's almost unheard of. You know, it's a great feeling. Dale did a fabulous job, and I have to congratulate the people at Krupe, Newcastle Stables, Newcastle Farm for the wonderful job they did breaking this colt.
Little Mike, you're Little Nick. You predicted a win. This is the second time on HRTV that this young man has predicted a win. Congratulations, Little Nick.
Thank you.
SS Stone on the outside has taken the lead. It's SS Stone in front. Jackson Bend on the outside, Coliseo along the rail. Ron the Greek is fourth. SS Stone past the 16th pole in front. Jackson Bend and Coliseo on the inside. SS Stone won the skip away by 2.
When HRTV Rewind returns.
I don't think I've passed the horse yet. Come on, Lucy, we got to go a little bit faster.
Yeah!
You know, which appeals obviously to a younger demo, which I'm now out of, unfortunately. But
You're watching HRTV Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
And it's D-Day. Today is the day, and let's shine again for D-Day.
Jim Cronk, assistant trainer. His dad owns the horse. They raced the dam. You tell me the horse is part of a family that the family raced as well.
Yes, sir. Mr. Hall that originally bred this filly, my dad trained horses for years and years, and he passed away a few years ago, and we've known this bloodline.
There are 2 horses alive that could collect coming into the Florida Derby this weekend. The winner would still be alive going into the Preakness to get that $5 million for the owner, $500,000 for the trainer, and those are sold out and dialed in. Touch on this really great added incentive of the 5.5.
Well, you nailed it. It's a terrific incentive, and there's 3 horses that will be eligible for the Santa Anita Derby. I'm not sure if those runners are going to run next week or not. But, yeah, it's a terrific bonus. It doesn't matter what happens in Kentucky if they're eligible for this bonus. You get, potentially 2 runners that'll come to the Preakness, regardless of what happens in the Derby, as long as the horse, stays healthy, which we don't always have. I mean, sometimes, everyone gets Derby fever, and you point towards the Derby, and then after the Preakness, we'll get, hopefully the top 3 and maybe someone, a few others with a troubled trip and then a bunch of new shooters. Well, this scenario, you would think that we'd get those 2 runners regardless of how they did in the Derby. So it's really a win-win for us.
May 21st will be the Preakness Stakes. There's a Preakness infield fest, bands like Bruno Mars and Train. And oh, by the way, Pegasus. Talk a little bit about the Preakness festivities.
Well, it's a new ad campaign this year. Some people love it, some people hate it, but I'll tell you, if you hate it, you're probably not in the demo that we're aiming for that particular section of the infield. It's aimed at the 21 to 40 crowd, the people who want to come out, the people who want to party and have a good time. If you don't want to do that, well, there's other places for you, the Turfside Terrace, for instance, and also the top of the grandstand area, and, of course, the Preakness Village as well, which kind of maybe offers a little bit more refined experience. But we're looking for the party people, the people who want to see a couple of Grammy Award-winning acts in Bruno Mars and Train on the Jägermeister stage. We've got Puddle of Mud, which appeals, obviously, to a younger demo, which I'm now out of, unfortunately. And that's what we're looking for, to try to get some people to the races and enjoy the music on that day, and maybe turn a couple of them into fans who'll come back a few times through the year.
I'm here on the infield for Gourmet Truck Food Festival, and I'm here at the... Yeah, no explanation needed there, but I found someone with a big old wiener. Let's have a bite of that. Are you going to have a bite? Tell me how it tastes. It looks delicious. Heaven, he's got his mouth full, so I'll speak for him. That looks like heaven. Excuse me. You want to be on camera? Huh? Text me later, tell me what you got. I think she's going to beat, guys. Apparently HRTV's got no pull. At the back of the line, guys. Thank you. Sorry, guys, couldn't resist. I don't think I've passed the horse yet. Come on, Lucy, we got to go a little bit faster. Yeah. Hi, how are you? Woo.
Gilded Gem down the centre of the track continues to close good ground under a hand ride. And it's Gilded Gem coming fast down the centre. Silver Swallow getting involved late, but Gilded Gem a big win today. Gilded Gem and Joel Rosario win it well.
Well, I thought when I saw my 3 filly, Mother Ruth out there in the lead, I thought she was just going to keep going, but and everything, she started getting tired at the end. And Gilded Gem, she likes to sit way back there, and Rosario really fits her well. And he's a very patient rider, and she's actually the sister to Drosselmeyer, the Belmont winner. Nobody ever talks about that, but she, as is her kind of race, she needs 6.5, 7/8, and she comes running late and ran them all down. And my other filly ran very well to get up for second, so would have liked to have been 1, 2, 3, but we'll take the 1, 2.
Captain Cherokee, Gold Cap coming on. Crown of Thorns didn't fire today. They come for home. Ventana, Amazombi on the outside. M1 Rifle at the rail. Captain Cherokee, anyone of 4. Amazombi, Captain Cherokee down to 2. Captain Cherokee, Amazombi at O's to Captain Cherokee.
Such consistency with Inherit the Gold in what turns out to be a very young training career. Tell us about your transition from the farm to the racetrack.
Oh, it's been quite a transition. It really wasn't planned. It was my wife and I sort of suffered with the economy. We had another business at the farm. We actually worked with young kids with drug and alcohol rehabilitation, and that business relocated out to Arizona, and we were sort of left in a bind. We'd gotten into a lot of horses, had more horses than we should, and I decided the only way we could really make a go of it was take my race, the ones at the track, and train them myself. It was the only way we could really make a stab, and I knew I had the big gray horse coming. I didn't ever dream that I could, get this lucky with him, but it's just been a dream, a real dream.
Inherit the Gold opening up now. Understatement, nothing left for that final furlong. And here's Modern Cowboy, who moves to second. But here is Inherit the Gold, and the beat goes on for him, and he wins with style once again.
That's all for Rewind this week. Here's a look at what's coming up next week on HRTV.
Morning, Aaron and Jeff. Just a little bit overcast here at Santa Anita. There is a bit of blue skies just trying to peek through over the mountains. Do have some news for you, Todd Pletcher.